Hello, everyone. Welcome to my new live stream, Let's Talk Positivity, where I meet with women in the community who are out making positive impact. So, want to welcome our guest tonight, Dr. Iris Wright. She is the what I like to call her because I love this one. I think I saw it on her website, the injustice advocate. Right? Like I love that. So, welcome, Dr. Wright, and tell
Welcome.
us a little bit about yourself. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Dr. Iris Wright. I am a wife, a mother of four, have grandbabies, have three grandbabies. I'm serial entrepreneur, injustice advocate. I love serving. And I'm a publisher and author and
Yeah.
speaker.
She okay. Did y'all hear that? Because she do a lot. She did a lot, and I love it. I love all of it. The term you used was serial entrepreneur, and that is a serial entrepreneur. So that is just so great. So she, y'all heard that she does a lot of stuff, but we're going to talk about a few of those things tonight. So one of the things, or one of the organizations or foundations she's founded is called Karen Hart's Telecare and Karen Hart's Foundation. So can you tell us how you got started and what that means to you?
Yes, Karen Hart's Telecare is a virtual and hybrid home care company. Got started in that about 2 years ago. Back it up a little bit. Through COVID, we opened a home care agency, and I wanted to have something that with some technology in it that could be able to help people more because even after COVID, staffing is still very short, so we not always have staff. So I wanted to figure out how I could innovate our company, and we ended up through our old agency. We was taking Medicaid, we was taking private pay. Once I started taking the Medicaid, I realized that in the state of Virginia, the pay is super low,
Um,
um, and they don't pay us on time. So you're
mhm,
constantly going out of pocket trying to make sure everything is paid. It was very stressful to me. So I ended up closing our company and restructuring, opening it back as Karen Hart Telecare. And I opened it back when I partnered with a company called Electronic Caregiver. So we do have an electronic caregiver called Addison. Her name is Addison, that we can be able to help people even if an aide is not in the home. So we can help our clients 24 hours a day.
mhm,
And then our nonprofit, I use it to help our low income seniors because our home care company is for all private pay, so we don't take any insurance. So in our nonprofit, we do a lot for our seniors, helping them in our community. So I do free baths for seniors, um, help them with their medications. We allow companies to adopt them. So
mhm,
if they need money um, for groceries or whatever electric bill, when they're adopted, they have that money with us so they can call us. So we do a lot into that nonprofit. We're currently in the middle of adding affordable home care inside of that nonprofit because we still have a gap, and I like to fill in the gaps. And our gap is we have people who do not qualify for Medicaid, but they can't afford to pay private pay either. So we're creating
mhm,
a sliding pay scale
mhm,
to be able to support those individuals. We also have our injustice movement inside of our foundation.
mhm.
We do a lot in our community when we're coming to serve
Mhm.
injustice. It's big to me.
Yeah.
It's important to me that I help my seniors because they're vulnerable in the community. We're all going to get older one day. I love taking care of them. And as I've been into healthcare for the last 15 years, I see how they're treated in long term care. And I do not think anyone belongs in the nursing home. So I want to do my best to make sure that our agency is giving and delivering that quality care that our clients need so they can stay home.
Yeah.
Our goal is to keep them independent and healthy at home and out of the nursing home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. So my mom is joining. Ma, hit up Dominique and all the other folk because they need to come on over to the YouTube channel, okay, for me. Thank you. But
Mhm.
my mother, I'm saying that, but I'm kidding, not kidding. She also works, in healthcare. And so I want to say CNA, I might be saying it wrong, but like how she goes in and she does the home health help, like she mostly elderly patients who are in the home. So that's something that she does. So she probably is loving this conversation.
Mhm.
Um, how much work goes into these efforts of the Karen Hart's Foundation and the telecare?
A lot. I'm getting well with the telecare. I'm an outside of a box type of person, so I kind of build it and then I build a team to
Hmm.
execute. So I'm very comfortable with delegating and building a team, but I still manage. So I still handle like my payroll and schedule. I still do house visits. I'm still in the community. I'm a
Yeah.
community person, so I
Hmm.
kind of like being there. But that's the easy part for me right now. The foundation, is
Hmm.
a nonprofit, so I'm learning nonprofit. So it's a lot to it. So
Yes.
we're gradually building that because it's
Hmm.
so much that I have to make sure that I have in place,
Right.
so things can be in order. So I am currently learning everything that needs to be done, like the board kits and all that kind of stuff, to make sure things are right while we're
Hmm.
growing into our nonprofit, learning how to do grants, learning the things that I have to be able to accept large grants and different things of that nature. So right now we're just doing small things. To be able to help people while we're building that nonprofit.
Yeah.
But I can say it do take some time, because not only are we taking care of the seniors, but we're also take care of injustice advocates. So like right now, we are doing rallies for Rudolph Turner.
Okay.
So he's we have filed a clemency, and so we're trying to get him home. So we're wanting people to keep him, to think about him, or that family members, not just him, because there's a lot of our people that are incarcerated. He
Hmm.
was 19 years old when he went in. He's been in there for almost 27 years. The judge gave him 82 years for a nonviolent crime. He did do the crimes. He did do the robberies back then. No one was hurt, but we're basically saying that we do apologize to the victims,
Hmm.
but we think that he served his time, and we know that he is ready to be an asset in his community and ready to help serve.
Hmm.
And I think he learned his lesson. I think he's ready to come home, and he should have at least one more chance to be able to be out here to be that asset and have
Yeah.
that opportunity.
Yeah.
So that's our fight, right now. Trying to, you need people speaking out for you and talking,
Yeah.
and keeping up with the buzz, because we don't want people to forget about them. We want people to know, even if they have a Rudolph Turner in their family, to fight for
Hmm.
them,
Yeah.
try to get him home. I
Right.
think that's the hardest thing when you're in there and you can't do anything.
Hmm.
So and so that's our fight right now. And somehow I got here in a little bit of a weird way.
Okay.
I'm the owner of Author Iris Wright and Publishing. So I started my healing journey in 2023,
Hmm.
and I am an injustice survivor. So at 18, I was facing over 20 years in jail for a crime I didn't commit,
Wow.
and lost my daughter. And
Wow.
it took me a long time to be able to heal from it, because one, I was a mother, so I had to kind of take everything else around me in. I
Yeah.
stayed in survival mode for a long time.
Hmm.
But last year, I was able to try to heal. I didn't even know healing was a real thing. I didn't know peace was a real thing.
Wow.
I just thought it was something that people just talk about,
Mm.
until I was able to do that. And part of my healing was through writing.
Okay.
So I ended up going live on Facebook, telling my story. A lot of people kept inboxing me about their story. So I said, "Hey, I'm writing a book. Why don't I do a visionary project to
Hmm.
help people write their stories, speak on stages, and help them with their healing process as well. And through that process, I end up having Injustice Volume 1.
Wow.
And we had 7 co-authors in that book. And one of the co-authors' name was Shauna Hicks, and that's her brother that we're fighting for. So I
Wow.
wanted this movement, that book motivated her to fight for him.
Sure. Yeah.
And I wanted everybody in the community that wants it or needs it to have that outlet. So it's not like we're just a book project. We
Hmm.
stay connected to one another if they want someone to talk to about it, because we all been through some that injustice, and
Right.
we're okay with talking about it. So we are a network.
Hmm.
We stay with each other. If one of us got something going on, we're going show up and help, have
Yeah.
community, because we need that.
Yeah.
um, so we have just did volume 2 with 7 new authors. We're working on volume 3, calling for authors. We're planning our second event, and we're bringing the community together. And I believe hurt people hurt people. So
Hmm.
we all need to be able to experience some type of healing so we can move on, so
Hmm.
we can elevate. And a
Yeah.
lot of times when you're faced with injustice, you're afraid to talk to people. You think that people are not listening to you. You're afraid of the judgment.
Yeah.
Um, and they shouldn't be. We shouldn't be. We should be able to use our voices. So it's major that when we can use our writing and get on stages and talk and be able to help somebody through those areas of healing. So I don't think my co-authors realize that they even helped in my healing process.
Mm.
Going through it, I didn't understand it, but that's it. Kind of like everything happened so fast last year that I didn't see everything
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah.
So now,
I love it.
we're Amazon bestsellers. We're international bestsellers. We just won International Impact Award of 2024.
That's wonderful.
I have our books in sign of Barnes and Nobles and different
Wow.
bookstores. So I like to help people that have been through that, because it's really hard. And I don't think, unless you, some people can blow it off. I guess I feel like some people can say, okay, let's move on.
Hmm.
But it's certain cases where you can't. You feel violated, and it's okay
Hmm.
to feel
Hmm.
that way. One of the things that I tell my authors, it may not have been our fault of why we was in the situation, but it's definitely our responsibility to heal. So we can't hold on to things.
Did you see my post this week? It was either this week or last week. I want to say it was Monday because today is Wednesday. But whatever day it was very recent. And it said, the wound may not have been your fault, but the
Hmm.
healing is your responsibility.
Yes,
And
it definitely.
it's just so real because no, people may not have been wrongly accused or experienced injustice, but I do think that we can relate on a level of um, being hurt in some way, some type of traumatic experience you may have had, past hurts from people that you thought you loved or loved you, disappointments, right? And so those things I'm learning as I'm older now. That's part of the reason why Dr. Iris said the event title this year is Unpack Your Baggage and Shift to Greater, or Unpacking Our Baggage, Shifting to Greater. I have been unpacking, right? It's a voice app that I have on my phone, and I don't need anybody to hear it. I didn't want to write it down. I just need to get it out, right?
Yeah.
Because we all have gone through stuff and it affects you as an adult, especially if something happened as a kid or even in your adult life. It affects you. It affects how you talk, how you do things. So yeah, I love that saying that you just said. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but it just reminded me of what I posted this week.
Yeah, it's very, I mean, it's a real thing. And even with, I want to say with injustice, some of our authors been through, different things. And sometimes when people see me posting about injustice or talking about it, they think automatically that we're talking about the judiciary system. But injustice happened in our homes when things happen and we were told that we cannot talk about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
After our first injustice event, I actually brought my mom here. I got her done up, had her front row seat at the table, and I knew that my mom would be able to relate to some of the stories in our book, because my mom has still been carrying all of that pain and hurt from her childhood, and we grew up
Yeah.
in it.
Wow.
After that conference, I took my mom home. By the end of that week, I had a FedEx envelope where my mom wrote her story. So my mom
Ooh,
is in volume 2 of Injustice.
ooh, I
So that
love
was
it.
really, really special to me,
Yeah.
because it took a lot for her
Yes.
to do that. And I think sometimes, we think that, oh, that's not an injustice. You are a child. My mom was raped by family members and incest.
Mm-hmm.
That's injustice.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Absolutely, it
we,
is.
we have another co-author who was human trafficked. That
Jesus.
was an injustice.
Mm.
And then over top of her, them getting her trafficker, they actually charged her with felony prostitute. So all the women that he trafficked, they get charged with felony prostitute. So in a lot of
Wow.
states they do that, and Virginia is a state that do that as well.
Wow.
So it's a lot that's going on out here that people are really, really going through that affects them
Yeah.
mentally and in their life. And for them to be able to process and move on, it was like, hey, someone hurt her, and then our system came right back and attacked her for being hurt.
Right. For being hurt. It's like, what is that about? Like, she needs care. She needs some therapy. She needs help, not to be punished for something that someone did to her. What in the world?
Yeah,
Wow.
so it's a lot of things that we
Yeah.
need to be talking to community about, to our community about, and just letting each other know that it's okay and that we're here to help them. I
Hmm.
think we live in a world with everything on social media. People have a lot to say. Do not seem to have intelligent conversations anymore.
Cruel. People are
Um,
cruel.
Yeah, so it's very difficult. So this time now more than ever need our leaders to step up
Yeah.
and say, "Sis, got you," or "Brother, I got you,"
That's right.
and to be able to speak that life into them, because back in the day, I used to have older people that would speak life to me, and
Mm.
it's sad to say that this generation don't have that. Some of the
Mm-mm.
older people are worse than the younger ones.
Talk about it. That's facts.
So they just don't have, they're not going to have that what we had.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's facts. So I'm
yeah.
gonna tell my mom to hit you up because I know she's writing her book. That's what she keep almost every time I've been talking to her lately. She was like, "I'm just writing my book." I don't know if she's back on or not, but she also suffered some injustices, right? And again, those things affect you from a child or
Mhm,
young girl, and those things affect you. And
mhm.
so part of that healing process is getting your story out. You're healing yourself, but you're also helping others
Yes.
heal. Because unfortunately, this type of thing, how you were saying about the being raped as young girls or young girls or boys, right?
Mhm.
Incest, things like that. Those things are real, and it happens more than we can even imagine that it
Yes.
happens. And it's like, who is the protector of these children,
Yes.
right? That's going through that? Who is the protector of these young ladies or these women that are unrightfully stolen, kidnapped away from their normal life and forced to do things that you know they probably wouldn't normally do, like think about the horror, the terror. All I don't even want to even imagine what someone is going through, their thought process, right?
Yes.
Going through that because they're probably just have to learn how to be in survival mode,
Yes.
right? Which is tough, man.
Yes.
Tough.
Yes. It's definitely tough.
Yeah.
It's a lot, and we have to know, especially as entrepreneurs. I felt like it was important for me to work on myself
Hmm.
because I didn't have the trust. I
Yeah.
didn't know how to have the grace. I suffered with, um, what's the word? being able to feel when someone need me. I can't think of it, it's on my tongue, but being
Hmm.
able to feel when I'm needed, when someone needs comforting, that was something that was very, very hard for me.
Okay.
And I think it was from the trauma. So sometimes people will tell me, oh, they're sad or because somebody died or something like that. And it may not hit me until a little later that they
Mm.
need
Okay.
someone to empathize with them. They need some comfort.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So my brain wasn't connecting that always right away.
Hmm.
And,
Wow.
and I think because I stayed in survival mode for so long,
Hmm.
you put up these guards to protect yourself. So you're
Yeah.
not trying to let a whole lot of people in those. And it's only
Hmm.
certain people that breaks that. And
Hmm.
I see a lot of entrepreneurs. It's a thing with serial entrepreneurs. We're doing a lot of things, but you can tell the ones that are still in survival mode.
Mm.
And that's not a good thing. That's not a good
Okay.
thing. When we're doing entrepreneurship, we should be making sure that one, we all want to make money and that will happen, but we need to make sure that it's impactful.
Yes.
It's very important. We need to make sure that we're out doing the right things too as entrepreneurs. That could be sometimes hard. Having employees, it was
Mhm.
major because I was like, I need to learn how to have grace and work with them,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They're going to
Yeah.
come to me because they're going to have all their own problems. And if I'm not healed, I cannot, I'm not going to respond to them in the way that they need me to respond.
Mm-mm.
So it was very important to me to make sure that I put myself in a space where I have some healing, where I can love, I can care, I can be compassionate, and I can have grace.
I love that.
Um,
I love that.
so it was very important, and I just hope people learn that we have to learn to heal.
Yes, we do. It is huge. The healing process. How, I mean, just like you said, like you didn't. I don't know the word either, but it's like you didn't have that sense of connection. I guess
Empathy.
empathy. Yeah, you just didn't like. Okay, you know. But it's not that you didn't care. You just didn't know how to care because of what you have been through, right? So that's huge. So let me ask you a few other questions because I think this is a good one, especially I just think whether you've been through something traumatic or it's just everyone goes through something in life. So, what would you tell your younger, if you go back in time, what would you tell your younger self?
One, listen to my mom.
That's a good one.
It's okay to take your time growing up. And of course, she didn't always make the best decisions, but a lot of the um, things that she saw, and I kind of always thought that she saw out of pain because my mom was dealing with a lot. I heard child molestation and rape a lot growing up. With people coming around, she was always watching, and sometimes I felt like, oh, well, she says that for everybody.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Um, but that was her way of protecting us, so we didn't go through what she had to go
Right,
through.
right.
And I think as a child, we don't understand.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So sometimes we want to escape. She tried to keep a tight lock on us, so we started, sneaking out and doing things.
Yeah.
But I would tell the young girls, like, just listen to your mom.
Mm-hmm,
Especially
mm-hmm.
if you have a good mom that she means well, she makes sure that things are done for you. um just
Mm-hmm.
listen,
Yeah,
because I probably wouldn't have been in my injustice situation if I would have just listened to her you
yeah,
know
absolutely. Absolutely. And so as I ask you these other questions, I'm going to go ahead and share for the people who are viewing to know how to connect with you. But so since I'm about to share these, how can we connect with you and collaborate with you? And before you answer that, to the audience, I'm putting QR codes up on the screen. Just take your phone, tap the code, and then you'll see a stream that says rstrm.io. You click that and it'll open the link. Okay, so this is going to, I'm going to share her Facebook, her Instagram, and her website. But she does a lot. So when you go to her Facebook page, you'll see a number of links, and I encourage you to, follow her and support her. So if we wanted to get involved in your initiatives or collaborate with you, how could we do that?
Follow me on Dr. Iris Wright. I have my website, iris-wright.com. You can go on, you can get books. If you want to be an author, you can also send me a request there or message to be an author. We have several co-author projects that we are putting out for next year. We have one called Black Diamond Chronicles that we have coming out. We have Injustice Volume 3. We're calling for authors for Teen Mom to Entrepreneur. We're calling for authors for Home Care Around the Globe, Volume 2. We're calling for authors for. So we have quite a few books that's coming out. If you want to write a book, but you just don't know how, and you want to start from a co-author book, we're happy to help you. I do handle all the publishing, and what makes us unique is that in our co-author books, I don't call my I want to say I don't call my co-authors co-authors. I call them authors. I
Yeah.
do customize their own book covers. They have their own ISB. I publish all of them separately. They collect all their
Hmm.
royalties from me. I
Yeah.
want them to feel I'm not a visionary that you're going to see on the front cover of your book. Um, and
Hmm.
I do that for a reason because I want people to feel comfortable with selling their book, but
Yeah.
also it's something about your name being on the front of that book that helps with your
Hmm.
process.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, so, I'm all about impact and healing. So I do go the extra mile to make sure that your book project comes out. And even though our names are separate on the book, we still share all the recognition. So when
Yeah.
I won International Impact Award, we won International Impact
I
Award.
love it.
So I
I
was
love it.
able to redo our book covers and get the logo put on everything, our award
Yeah.
sign put on our books. So
Oh, that's wonderful.
yeah, so I believe in that. So if you need a coach or mentor and you're working on your own book, contact me for a quote to see how I can help you write
Yeah.
your own book. Um,
So someone just asked, can you repeat the website again? That's my mom. Can you repeat
um,
that website with the author that you were talking
yes,
about?
Iris dash Wright WRIGHT.com.
Yeah, I told you she's writing. She's writing a book. She's writing. That's all I can tell you. So, this might be something she wanna jump on.
Yes.
um, no, it's just beautiful. It's been so great talking to you um, tonight, and I encourage you to keep going, keep doing what you're doing. I don't know, pretend to know everybody, right? But I am paying attention to those who I feel are making positive changes and positive impact because social media, the world in general, can just be so negative, right? You were talking about it earlier. People and their words, they're hiding behind that screen and typing, right? And this council culture that's out here now, they don't want to give people grace and
Yeah.
another opportunity, but they want grace, right? Or
Yeah.
another opportunity. And so I try to use my platform to spread positivity. And speaking of which, we have the seventh annual Design with a Purpose event coming up. Dr. Iris Wright is going to be one of our speakers. I'm very excited to hear whatever it is she chooses to share with us on our topic again, unpacking our baggage, shifting the greater. It's her amongst other dynamic women are going to be there. So let's make sure that you get your tickets so that you can come and view this or be a part of this conference. It's a 2-day conference. So Friday night is the awards gala and Saturday is the conference. And speaking of awards gala, we do have our second annual DWAP Awards. Dr. Iris Wright is also a nominee in numerous categories. But make sure that we are nominating those women and young ladies in the community that are making positive impact. There's like a ton of categories. I want to say I have like 30 or more, and you can nominate up to 6 people because I wanted to try to get all types of women, right? We all are great in whatever it is that we do. So just wanted to throw that out there as well. So, again, thank you, Dr. Iris Wright, for being my guest tonight. Is there anything that you would like to share with everyone before we go?
I'm just going to share, continue striving, continue elevating, making an impact. Um, don't be afraid to ask anybody for help as well. Find, don't keep everything to yourself. And happy Wednesday.
Yes.
So,
Happy Wednesday. It's always a great day when we are on the other side. Okay.
yeah.
So just keep striving. I love it. And thank you again. And if you come back and watch this, make sure you put hashtag replay in the
Mhm.
comments and let us know your thoughts.